indeed. Welcome into the guest room. We are excited that you have found your way here. I don't know what route you took, but we're happy to see you. I'm your host, Mike. That's Kevin.
I found my way here too.
Congratulations. You should have. You should know your way by now. That's Andy over there.
I have arrived.
You have. And in the chair next to you, Andy, it's not KD.
It's not?
No. We have a guest host today. I don't think...
We have a guest in the guest room.
That's right.
Whoa.
Joining... this would make him the first member of the guest list, I believe.
Is this what happens for, like, Patreon people?
It is. You too can join the guest list if you go to our Patreon page, if that's what the kids are calling it these days. Now, our guest host, I don't think we could necessarily call him our number one fan, but certainly our most invested listener.
How do you measure the difference between those two things?
Well, we could ask him for himself. I mean...
We always ask... Let's just preface this. We always ask for analysis. Tell us how you did on the episodes, and, send us your comments, your questions, your concerns. And this person regularly does that.
Oh, I don't disagree.
I think that's pretty invested.
Yeah, to be clear, I don't disagree with the assertion that he's our most invested fan. But saying that he's not our number one fan...
Well, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying we don't know that
I'm not saying
is.
he's not either, but I'm just asking, how do we determine who is?
Well, that's a good question. I think just sending in reviews of each episode...
If you think you're the number one fan, subscribe to our Patreon and come sit in this chair.
That's right.
Or send an email to our Gmail account.
Yes, that too.
theguestroom.podcast@gmail.com and let us know why.
That's the one.
But if you rate us a 10 out of 10 on every episode, then you're probably our number one fan.
That's right. The ratings from this particular fan have been fairly consistent, though not always rave.
That's true.
Yeah.
But certainly helpful nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Matthew, why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners?
I'm Matthew, first time, long time, big fan of the show, love what you guys are doing. And I'm just here to fill Katie's shoes as best I can, metaphorically speaking, of course, because I definitely have bigger feet than Katie.
You're not going to be kicking any 55-yard punts, are you?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Which he cannot do, by the way.
We've been told that he can.
There's no way.
Probably never find out whether or not that's
KD.
true.
Oh, I told him I was going to go measure out something in the park, and we're going to measure if he can punt 55 yards.
I don't know if that park is 55 yards long.
That's true.
Well, Matthew, we're excited to have you along with us today. And in fact, you're not just here for the ride. You're not just here to fill KD's shoes, which honestly we just hope you don't. You're here to deal upon us a Jepisode of your own. So
What?
Yeah, in fact, we will be playing a round of Jeopardy today, and we do call that a
Jepisode.
So Matthew, why don't you take us through your categories and maybe the genesis of developing this board?
All right, so I really designed this board as an homage to KD. I came here not to bury KD, but to praise him. And so
You should have left off with, yeah, for sure, then, to be really filling for KD.
Yeah, for sure. So some categories I considered but did not quite make the list were non-alliterative forkerisms,
We wouldn't have invited you back.
before and after 17th century countries, and NFL teams by players 1967.
Oh, gosh.
So instead, I got away from those because I didn't really know anything about any of those categories. And I decided to try to complete...
What about
KD's
countries that Katie has visited?
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. So I decided to complete KD's unfinished theorem, which of course is the effort to complete all of the categories in one circle, link them all together. And I believe I've done so. So I'll introduce the categories. The first category is to be, nah, not to be.
Okay.
The second category is before and alpha. The third category, alphabet soup. Then we have soup to nuts. Then we have nuts in quote marks. That's very important.
Like an exclamation.
And finally, we have nuts and bolts too. So then that loops
Bringing us
back
back
around
to
to be or not to be.
To be. I like
So
it.
there we go. They said it couldn't be done.
No, just KD said it couldn't be.
Is there any sort of competition for cleverness, which also there's no charge for, by the way?
Oh, no charge.
Whereby a member of the guest room, a roommate, if you will, can get ousted by a guest and replaced?
We'll have to see how this goes, and then we'll decide.
Yeah, I guess they'll just have to see what the next episode is after this one and see if he's back.
Change the cover art.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. With that, let us get into the throes of this board. Who won last time? Who's our victor? Reigning champ.
It was me.
I'm not going to argue with that.
No.
All right, Kevin, the board is yours. Where would you like to start?
Well, apparently all of these places are the place to start because it's a circle. But let's be honest. I'm going to start with alphabet soup. So alphabet soup for 100, please.
All right, alphabet soup. All of these are acronyms that are at least 5 words long, but you only must get at least 3 words to be judged a correct answer. So, for example, if I gave the clue NAFTA, which stands for North American Free Trade Agreement, if you answered North American Fair Trade Association, that would be accepted as a valid answer because you got North American and trade. So don't be afraid to take a stab at one of the longer acronyms. You just need to get at least 3 words right.
It's almost like HDMI when we all had the right answer.
No, that's not long enough. All right. The $100 clue is BABIP, B-A-B-I-P. Kevin.
Batting average on balls in play.
That is correct. You got all of the words right, but you don't get any extra points for that.
Bummer. I'll take alphabet soup for 200.
FLOTUS, F-L-O.
First Lady of the United States.
That is correct.
300.
SNAFU,
Andy,
Andy.
situation normal, all effed up.
That is correct. Fouled up, I think, is what.
I think you got 4 out of 5 words.
I thought it was the other thing, but
Good thing you don't need all 5. In that.
yeah, I was like,
Well, I had
really?
no idea that was an acronym, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just thought it was a word.
It originated in the military.
Well, obviously. Wow.
All right, Andy, the board is yours.
400 alphabet soup.
SCUBA.
Kevin.
Mike.
Kevin.
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
That is correct. 5 for 5.
500.
All right, now this one I have to note. There have been at least 3 different variations of this acronym over time. And so if you get any of the words that were in any of the variations, that will be counted as a valid answer. And the acronym is SHIELD, S-H-I-E-L-D, as in Marvel.
Go for it, Kevin.
Have you guys seen the show?
What show?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes, I have. I can't.
It's going to be a no from me, Bob.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so the most current iteration of SHIELD is Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistic Division, but it's had 2 other names in the comics over time, too.
Wow.
Originally, it was Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division.
I'll finish up the category for 6.
All right, the final one, a New York Times writer called this acronymic immortality USA Patriot, as in USA Patriot Act.
Kevin.
Go for it.
United States of America Patriot Association. Just trying really interestingly over there.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Wow.
Boop, boop, boop. The correct answer was uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools to restrict, intercept, and obstruct terrorism.
You're close.
Was I? I think I was 1 for 10.
You
got
started
America.
Unite.
You got less than 3. I know that.
Yes. Nuts.
4.
Nuts 1.
All right, nuts in quotation marks. This large drupe is used for cream pies, like the one that Pie
Kevin.
taught. Yes, Kevin.
Coconut.
That is correct.
I almost didn't let you get the good part out. Nuts for 2.
This legume had over 300 products developed from it.
Kevin. Peanut.
That is correct, by George Washington Carver.
Nuts for 3.
This drupe may bring joy, but not to those who prefer mounds.
Mike.
Mike.
Almond.
That is correct.
400.
This seed is used to make a common flavor in Spumoni ice cream.
Mike.
Andy.
Mike.
Pistachio.
That is correct.
500.
These seeds must be extracted from cones in a laborious process before becoming a pesto ingredient.
Mike.
Mike.
Pine nut.
That is correct.
600.
The droop seed's raw form causes an allergic reaction similar to poison ivy.
I know not.
The correct answer is cashew.
Ooh.
So all of the things in that category are not technically nuts according to botanists. So you can bore and annoy your friends with that information.
Is that a protein, by the way?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, order that at Chipotle.
All right.
We really need to release that recording on Patreon someday.
We should.
Let's
Wait,
go.
after 2 categories, how did the scores stand?
After 2 categories, we've got Andy with 300, Kevin with 400, Mike with 1,200.
You should get extra points just for buzzing in a lot.
Negative.
For buzzing in, you get to move up and down a lot. Let's go. Wow. Let's go to be. Nah, not to be for
All
100.
Right. This Shakespeare play is not about Coach Cornell and Elizabeth Mitchell's lost. Kevin.
Romeo and Juliet.
That is correct.
Yeah, I'll stay with to be or not to be for 2.
This Shakespeare play is not about a frozen orange drink served with a salad.
Mike.
Mike.
What is Julius Caesar?
Correct.
Let's go 300.
This Shakespeare play is not about a monarch with his own private jet.
Kevin.
Kevin.
King Lear.
That is correct.
To be, not to be for 400.
This Shakespeare play is not about a small country village.
Kevin. Hamlet.
That is correct. Or a little bit of pork was the rest of the clue.
To be, not to be for 5.
This Shakespeare play is not about a board game with black and white flippable discs.
Mike.
Mike.
Is it Othello?
That is correct. Very nice.
Good job, Mike.
600.
This Shakespeare play is not about the holiday evening that all those
Kevin.
drummers... Kevin.
What is A Midsummer Night's Dream?
That is incorrect. This Shakespeare play is not about the holiday evening that all those drummers were drumming.
Mike.
Mike.
12th Night.
That is correct.
Jeez, you guys killed me in that.
Mike's killing us just because he only gets the good ones right.
He's very choosy.
Not normally.
Let's go before and alpha for 100.
The top guy who delivers correspondence.
Andy.
Andy.
Alpha male. Oh, alpha male man.
There, thank you.
Yeah. I gotcha. Okay, I forgot it was before and after. Ooh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what we're doing here.
Yeah. My brain didn't go there right away.
I wasn't entirely sure this was before and after.
All right, before an alpha 200.
The top lost pet impounder.
Mike.
Mike.
Alpha dog catcher.
That is correct.
Oh.
Before and alpha 300.
The first and the last side-scrolling adaptable action hero.
Andy.
Andy.
Alpha Omega Man.
That is correct.
For now, Alpha 400.
It's so hard to say.
The leader of the pack is this celebrity chef.
No, it's not him.
Mike.
Mike.
Alpha Wolfgang Puck.
That is correct. Mike, once again, hitting the big numbers.
Before and alpha 500.
Sprouts in a mode before beta testing.
Mike.
Yes, Mike.
What is alfalfa? Alfalfa?
It's a before and after.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the judges are not going to give that one to you.
Can you repeat it?
Sprouts in a mode before beta testing.
Andy.
Andy.
Alfalfa testing.
That is correct.
Thanks, Mike. 600.
A letter collection and a Golden Girls actress.
Mike.
Mike.
Alpha Betty White.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh.
I was not tracking in that category at all.
It's like before and after, but you know one of the words every time.
Did you try to come up with a clue for Alpha Centauri but couldn't figure out a before and after to link it?
Yeah, Centauri is a hard word to start a clue with, I have to say. I really did.
I've never heard of some of those terms. I don't know. Okay.
It's me.
No.
No,
No, it's Mike.
Oh, yeah, you got alphabetically right. Never mind.
Let's go. I don't know what to expect from either of these categories. We've got soup to nuts and nuts
Can we
and
get
bolts
a
too.
score update, by the way?
And at the end of 4 categories, we've got Andy with 1,200,
Okay.
Kevin with 600, though he's been at 1,200, and Mike at 3,200.
You're close.
Let's just go soup to nuts 100.
All right, so this category is going to consist of phrases that mean everything in common parlance. So, for example, if there was soup to nuts, this means everything, though you might not like gazpacho or macadamias. So the answer needs to be a phrase that means everything.
Is it blank to blank every
Such as-
time?
No,
Oh.
but soup to nuts is an example of when people say soup to nuts.
I've never heard that phrase in my
Everything.
life.
Okay, well,
Soup to nuts?
That's why it's good that
Good.
not
That
what
means
the
I'm only
answer.
competing against one person in this category.
Soup to nuts?
soup to nuts
You
is
can't
a
take
common-
the country.
Yourself.
You can't take the country out of the girl.
You can't. You never have been able to.
phrase.
Oh boy, this should not be my category.
Mike, did you say soup to nuts for 100?
For 100, yes.
This means everything, though you might need somewhere to wash the dishes.
Mike,
Mike,
the kitchen sink.
Andy,
Andy,
everything but the kitchen sink.
that is correct. Thank you.
Oh, this means everything.
The kitchen sink doesn't mean everything. The phrase everything but the kitchen sink means everything. So
Except the kitchen sink.
All that for 100 points for Andy.
That's right.
Soup to nuts, 200.
You were supposed to sit this one out.
Yeah, I know.
This means everything, though you might want a whole taco too.
Kevin,
Yes,
the whole enchilada.
that is correct.
Ah,
Soup to nuts, 300.
This means everything, though you might not have gotten enough for a first down.
Kevin,
Kevin,
the whole 9 yards.
that is correct.
I was trying to figure out why.
Trying to figure out why you buzzed in and then thought later. Yeah.
No. 400.
This means everything, though the Bible would say you need the faith too.
Kevin.
Kevin,
It's weird. This sounds
yeah.
familiar.
This sounds very familiar.
works are everything.
I'm sorry, the judges say no on that one.
Can you repeat the question?
This means everything, though the Bible would say you need the faith too.
I'd have a guess, but for no points. Nope. And I think it's wrong. That's why.
All right, boop, boop, boop.
Is it you just got to have faith?
No, I'm sorry, the answer was the works.
Ah.
Kevin, I believe you still control the board.
500.
This means everything, though you might need gunpowder and a bullet too.
Mike.
Mike.
The whole shebang?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Can you read it again?
I did try to come up with a whole shebang, but could not find one that was appropriate. This means everything, though you might need gunpowder and a bullet too.
Andy?
Andy.
Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Mad at himself that he buzzed.
Yeah. The smoking gun.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Ouch. That's like half my points.
Kevin,
Almost.
you're the last man standing.
No.
Boop, boop, boop. The correct answer was lock, stock, and barrel.
I've never heard that phrase ever.
I have. I've never used it though.
600.
Packed it away in my portmanteau.
You always get it.
Daily
Yeah,
double.
right. Daily double on a 600-point question. Wow.
Make it a true.
Yeah, all 700 of my points.
This means everything, though the otolaryngologist might be only halfway done with the extraction.
What? The what?
The otolaryngologist.
Didn't you just say you were taking a trip to see the otolaryngologist?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, they're talking. Can you read it again?
This means everything, though the otolaryngologist might only be halfway done with the extraction.
What did that person tell me, Mike?
I think if we just keep uttering words, we ruin Kevin's brain. he can't come up with an answer.
The tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth.
I appreciate the effort, but we were looking for the whole ball of wax. Otolaryngologist is an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
I know that, but
I didn't. Wow.
I couldn't think of what else they would be extracting. I've never had that much wax in my life.
What's a larynx?
You know.
It's your voice box, right?
Okay. I don't know.
All right.
Sounded like
Give me
that was
nuts
in
and
there.
bolts for 100.
The more common name for the crosshead screw.
Kevin.
Kevin,
Phillips head.
that is correct.
200.
These nuts are wheelie effective at keeping the wheels from coming off.
Andy,
Andy,
lug nuts.
that is correct.
300.
Bulk fabric is commonly sold in this form.
Kevin.
Kevin,
Bolts.
that is correct.
400.
This medieval and or stealth weapon can
Kevin.
use... Kevin.
Crossbow bolt. A crossbow would shoot a bolt.
All right, the judges will give it to you. Yes, the correct answer was crossbow, because the question was, this medieval and or stealth weapon can use bolts as ammo.
Yeah, the first thing I said was crossbow. 500.
During the Battle of the Bulge, an American commander gave this famous retort when asked to surrender.
I hope it's the first part.
Oh, man.
Oh, nuts.
Boop, boop, boop. The correct answer was nuts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, what? Come on. I didn't know.
I was going to say these
There's
nuts.
no way that's real.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great story. Look it up. Yeah, the Germans asked him to surrender, and then they talked about what to send back, and they sent back the word nuts, and then they had to have a long conversation with the translators to try to explain what he meant when he said that. It's a fantastic story.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, 600.
A curse shot from a magic wand, or just some ubiquitous IKEA hardware.
Andy?
Andy.
Stray bolt?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
We're
no.
looking for.
Mike, does that get me negative?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
But it certainly takes the pressure off of Mike.
sorry. I thought that was a good answer.
Can you read it again?
A curse shot from a magic wand, or just some ubiquitous IKEA hardware.
It's the wand that's throwing me off. Kevin.
Kevin.
Lightning bolt.
No, I'm sorry. That's incorrect.
Mike, I totally believe in you.
I'm going to keep my plus 600 on this question.
The correct answer was a hex bolt.
Ooh. Never heard the phrase.
Haven't you ever put anything together from IKEA?
No.
Oh, you need to buy some more IKEA products then.
Lots of hex bolts.
Wow.
Mike-
What a barn burner we have here.
It is indeed a barn burner. I will go burn a barn by myself. For at the end of 6 categories, we've got Kevin with 200, Andy with 400, and Mike with 2,700.
Never come back.
Who's that directed to?
That whole side of the table.
All right. Matthew, do you have Final Jeopardy for us?
I do, and the category is keyboards.
I know what those are.
Then you should wager all 400 of your points.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right, the clue is, since the QWERTY typewriter debuted in 1873, this has been a 10-letter English word that can be typed using only the top letter row.
Oh, I love typing words with only the top row. I used to have a list on my phone of words that I thought of that were only the
A
top row.
10-letter?
10-letter word, 10-letter English word that can be typed using only the top row.
Is it bad that I have a keyboard right in front of me? Should I not look at it?
I mean, if I can look at my phone keyboard, then I'll let you look at it.
I'll allow
Okay,
it.
I'll do it by memory. Question.
Yeah.
Clarification. You're saying it's a 10-letter word only using... It's not like where one letter can only be used once, right? It's just... And not all letters have to be used?
So correct. So if you took the top row of a typewriter, you can use as many of those letters as you want. And you can use letters more than once if needed.
I figured it out. How confident are you, Mike?
100%. Equivalent to the number of points I wagered.
Oh, that could mean a couple things.
I know.
All right. Okay, so Kevin, let's see your answer first.
Oh, that is right.
It's not a word.
Proprietary.
Oh, well, I meant to put an R in there, but that's not what I wrote, I guess.
That is very close to a correct answer, which is proprietor. You were right
That's-
in the ballpark.
Yeah,
But
I forgot the R up here when I was doing my doodling. Yep, I should have had it.
it's also proprietary, so
I know, but
yeah.
it's because
You were close. You were close.
It's because I was forgetting that R for whatever reason that I added the Y on the end, and I just guessed that maybe you'll accept it.
And you wagered
All of my points.
All right. Okay, let's go to Andy. Andy wrote, Yeetyoutoe.
Yeetyoutoe.
This is the answer that Andy was completely confident
You
about.
were so confident.
Yeah, this is right. Yeetyoutoe.
Yeah, it's when you're chewing on your toe and
Yeah, you yeet it.
You yeet it.
Yeetyoutoe.
Well, it's possible that it's something the kids say that could be incorporated in the dictionary.
I'm just
soon. It has
happy-
certainly not been an English word since 1873.
Well, they were wrong.
That was much more like a 1920s thing.
I also didn't wager on my points, so for the record, I beat Kevin. Thank you.
Andy wagers $399 and finishes in second place with $1.
I don't know if that's even precedented, wagering a non-multiple of 100.
It's allowed. It's allowed. All right, and Mike.
I think Mike's is right.
Mike actually came up with the correct answer, which is the best answer to this question, and it is the word typewriter, which can be written only using the top row of a typewriter.
Yeah.
And Mike, you wagered.
100 points.
Oh, Mike passes up the chance at immortality and wagers only 100, but it still is the emphatic winner of the episode.
Yeah, so final scores. Kevin with 0. Andy, way more points than Kevin
Yep.
with 1.
Yep.
Infinitely more
Yep.
points than Kevin.
And Mike with 2,800. What do you guys think? I want to invite Matthew back.
I have one word.
What's that?
Yeetyoutoe.
That was going to be nuts.
Yeet you nuts.
Contrary to what the scores might suggest, I thought that most answers were fairly gettable. Like, I don't think this was the hardest board that we've encountered.
It wasn't a KD board.
Although
The
KD
scores
would,
indicate that it was a Katie board.
KD would retort, but you guys get so many points when I run Jeopardy. So I don't know if that's true or not. But honestly, I thought this was the perfect level of difficulty. It just might have been in my wheelhouse more than your guys's.
I did feel like at least the 500 and 600s were properly placed. Like, I don't know if any of the 1 through 400 clues were missed ultimately, but the 500 and 600 ones were where.
Oh, I missed plenty of questions.
I mean, ultimately.
I
somebody eventually got all the
I
1
think that's
through
the
400.
most questions I've ever heard Kevin miss in an episode. I'll say that.
I mean, the board certainly reveals that he both started and ended at 0, and it was a long trip.
And I had 0 not at the beginning and end once as well.
That's
Kevin's
true.
score volatility was very high.
You could almost call it a spike.
I believe dinner is here,
A football thing and a finance thing.
Hey,
Well,
which should have been accepted.
it should have.
Matthew, thank you so much. Like, I don't think that we could expect that from anyone coming on their first try to have a Jeopardy board that is both relevant for our levels of knowledge, but also enjoyable, and ended with me winning. So that's
Yeah,
basically
the winner is heaping praise upon you.
the
right
perfect
now.
trio.
Just take it with a grain of nuts.
Or legumes. And thank you, listeners. We appreciate you being here, sticking along with us, and please let us know how you felt about our maiden voyage of guest Jepisodehood.
This was the guest room.
This was the guest room, and we enjoyed it. So if you guys enjoyed it, then we'll do it again. Let us know how you feel. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you would. That would be awesome.
Also, if you didn't enjoy it, we might do it again.
Yeah, we might still do it again. It doesn't really matter what you think, but leave a review anyway. If it's 5 stars, put that on the app. If it's like 1 through 4, send that to our email. Don't put that on the app. But once again, yeah, we appreciate you being here. Send us an email at theguestroompodcast@gmail.com and tell all your friends. And as always, farewell.